According to ESPN, a potential November 19th fight between Errol Spence, hey, stop that cat, man down, strap season, and Terrence Bud Crawford would contain a two-way rematch clause. That's what I want to talk about right here in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. SLC. It's an acronym I came up with. It stands for subscribe, like, and comment. We are on the road to 300K. We can get there. It's going to take y'all and your assistance. The red and white button, make sure you guys hit that for the latest and greatest in boxing. Reach one, teach one. It's not a game. Now, I made videos yesterday regarding I guess you could say news. It's not necessarily technically news, seeing as it's sources and sourced out and rumored. But ESPN chose yesterday to report, according to their sources, it looks like the fight between Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, which is a mega fight in the welterweight division, it has been basically verbally agreed on terms of the material, the deal points. From my experience in the game, usually when a fight is agreed upon in principle, that's usually a good sign. Of course, boxing is boxing. Boxing is the theater of the unknown. So it ain't over till it's over. We still got to wait for an actual announcement from either the fighters, preferably, or at least Premier Boxing Champions or the network that it would be on. But as I stated in the beginning of this video, according to ESPN source in their report, they're saying this fight would entail or include a two-way rematch clause. Now, basically, for the people who are new on my channel or new to boxing, a rematch clause is a contractual stipulation written in the contract that would force a mandatory, obligatory rematch in the event of said fighter losing. Now, in this particular case, since it's Spence and Crawford, and reportedly they both have that rematch clause, it's a two-way. That means if Crawford loses to Errol Spence, then he can trigger an immediate rematch. Usually it's given within a certain amount of time, let's say 90 days. So that would mean if Crawford loses to Errol Spence, he has up until a certain point, a certain date, because the way that works is this. You would have to put some kind of probationary period up, like 60 days, 30 days, 90 days, for the person to decide that they want to exercise their rematch clause. Because if you did not, then you would be potentially allowing a fighter who had the rematch clause to stall out the next guy's career. And you would allow them to take months upon months and months to decide and trigger the rematch clause. So that can't work. So obviously they have a situation where they write in a certain time frame. And then if you go beyond that time frame, then pretty much the person doesn't have to rematch you. Also, since it's two-way, if Errol Spence were to lose to Bud Crawford, he has that opportunity to get some get back. So what does this mean? I think it's fair. I think it's fair. It's basically a respect for both fighters and what they've accomplished thus far. Errol Spence, it also shows me that he is not like a crybaby when it comes to negotiating. He's like, all right, if I beat him once, I can beat him again type of attitude, which is what we've seen also from Devin Haney recently with George Kambosos. I did it once. Now they're scheduled to do it again, right? So I really respect this about Errol Spence. And the reason why I'm focusing on him is because the fight's happening on his preferred network. Terrence Crawford just became a free agent, suing Top Rank. I don't know if the lawsuit's still active, but that's a whole nother video. And Errol Spence, he really has dictatorship here. He could really be on his Kim Jong-un and power play Terrence Crawford and nickel and dime him and say, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. You got to bend and do this. You got to, and there could have been, I wasn't there for negotiation, so there could have been some of that. But the fact that it's a two-way rematch clause shows me that Errol Spence, he's not overdoing it in terms of trying to power play Terrence Crawford. He's trying to get the fight done, right? Because there are situations where, and I hate to admit it, this is some of y'all favorite fighters, guys like Canelo and Anthony Joshua. I can almost certainly assure you that they have fights where it's a one-way rematch clause, meaning if I lose to Bivol, then I get an opportunity to rematch Bivol if I wanted to. And judging by who Canelo's fighting this weekend, Gennady Golovkin, had no guys, had Max's, Potts' guys, right? That shows that Canelo didn't want no smoke and do an immediate Bivol rematch. But more than likely, and you guys can confirm this through Canelo himself or Eddie Hearn, more than effing likely, it was a one-way rematch clause, meaning if Canelo beat Bivol, he has options on imposing a rematch clause. If Bivol were to have lost to Canelo Alvarez, who was the favorite, and he's the media darling and calls himself the face of boxing and me, Etta, more than likely Bivol would just be stuck. Even though he was the champion, it's not what the deal is, what you can negotiate. And a lot of people end up getting bullied by people like Canelo at the negotiating table because he has the fame and he has a name and he has stature. So they just, whatever he demands, they kind of go with the flow. Like Caleb Smith, quick turnaround, or actually not a quick turnaround, but he was on a long layoff and they said he had a rehydration clause. Sergey Kovalev, quick turnaround. Rehydration clauses for certain fighters. Other guys who would benefit from a rehydration clause, like Amir Khan, Canelo says there was no rehydration clause that he was willing to do. So he could have came in as big as he wanted, and little old Amir Khan, who was really a welterweight and got knocked out in smaller light divisions than even welterweight and got hurt in many fights, he had to fight this hulking Canelo. So back to Errol Spence and Crawford, it shows you what type of A-side negotiator and A-side champion that Errol Spence is. The fact that, according to this report, unless the report is off, there's a two-way rematch clause. And again, that's a testament to Al Heyman, Terrence Crawford's, willingness, but more importantly, the PBC side. Because let's be real, the PBC side is the one that gets the most slack and name called, and people said Errol was ducking and holding up the fight. These are not the behaviors of somebody who doesn't want to fight. And ego Stradamus strikes again. I've been saying this. A lot of people were pointing the finger and saying Errol Spence, oh, he did this. It's all Errol's fault. He doesn't want the fight. But you're not going to be this easy to work with if you didn't truly want the fight. Let me know how I did in this video. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. I'm truly the best in the business. I give you what you guys need in the world of boxing. So if you enjoy that, subscribe, comment, and I'm out. Deuces. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work.